I am honored today to be at the King Center here in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, with Mr. Van Jones.
Happy to be here. I'm the CEO of something called the Reform Alliance, and that's Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Robert Smith, all trying to do something on criminal justice reform. When you actually try to solve real problems, especially for black folk, you see people of color, I mean, the people out there, oh, we want to fight everybody. It's like, you ain't been in a real fight. I had a bad view of Kim Kardashian because I didn't know her. If she wants to bring her money and her firepower to help get people out of prison, that's a good thing. I just feel like the culture has gotten so negative and so toxic. It's no empathy, no compassion, no listening. And, you know, the cancel culture, call-out culture, you know, all that kind of negative stuff. And I want to do something 180 degrees in the other direction to really see if we could show people trying to reach out to each other across really, really tough divides. Now, this doesn't always turn out warm and fuzzy. They don't always get to some kind of, like, now we're best friends and kumbaya. But just the idea that people authentically are trying to understand something painful in the past to get to some kind of healing is extraordinary.
Is there room for redemption with our culture right now in our country? We talk about prison reform and we see all that has happened on the side of especially African Americans and minorities, with the government being very unfair with prison terms. Is there an opportunity for redemption in that story as well?
Look, I hope so. You know, I'm the CEO of something called the Reform Alliance, reformalliance.com, and that's Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Robert Smith, and 5 other heavy hitters, all trying to do something on criminal justice reform. And I'm the startup CEO for that. To get that off the ground and get that moving. And we're trying to deal with probation and parole reform. We talk about people in prison, but, you know, 2 million people in prison, 4 million people on probation and parole. You know, it's a much bigger number than you think who are caught up in that system. So, look, I think that there's a way for us to make a difference. The Democrats and Republicans were wrong for years on the issue, and now it seems like Democrats and Republicans are trying to get back right on the issue. So, look, I believe it's possible, but I tell you what, the pain inside our community, having mass incarceration inflicted upon us for being addicted to drugs and not having jobs, and yet now in Appalachia and other places where people lost their jobs and turned to opioids, they're not kicking in those doors. They're not bringing in the SWAT team for that. And so
they have not kept the same energy.
No, they did not keep the same energy. When you saw, you know, white folks having addiction issues and despair and depression, and we say, how can we help? As opposed to how can we lock up? So I think that's good. I mean, I'm not saying they should do bad to white folks because they did bad to us, but let's be fair to everybody. That's what I believe.
Absolutely. You mentioned Democrats are wrong, Republicans are wrong. Part of your ability, I think, to maybe I'll say infiltrate the Republican Party has been friendships that you had in places where you were able to find commonalities there. Do you think it's important for us to have people that understand on both sides so the polarization is not so extreme?
Look, you know, when you actually try to solve real problems, especially for black folk, like you said, people of color, po folk, period. You need more friends. And fewer enemies. I mean, the people out there, oh, we want to fight everybody. It's like, you ain't been in a real fight. You're in a real fight, you don't want to fight them all. You know what I mean? If you can get some people to help you. And so, look, I can vote against you and not hate you. And I can disagree with you on 99 issues, but still work with you on 1.
Absolutely.
And that's how we have to be. And so, you know, you have some Republicans now, because of, you know, fiscal reasons, they don't want to spend the money on these prisons that are not working. Libertarians, they don't believe that people should be locked up for doing drugs. Christian conservatives, some of them are coming around saying, where are the second chances? Then we have to be smart enough to say, you know, I'll fight you when you're wrong, but I'll work with you when you're right.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to encourage the good wherever I find it. If I can find some good in the Republican Party or some good in the Democratic Party, I'm going to encourage the good. Because the people behind bars in prison have never said to me, Van Jones, get me out of here, I need your help. But whatever you do, don't talk to no Republicans.
Don't use the help of Republicans.
Exactly. Please do not talk to anyone. I've never heard a single person behind bars say that. And so we have to be as sophisticated as the system we are trying to change. The system we're trying to change will use you against you and you against you and you against you and keep it pushing. But we are not smart enough to say, well, how about this? We'll also bring you on to this issue and fight you on that issue and keep it pushing.
Right.
So that's how grown folk do politics.
Absolutely. Speaking about that, there was a lot of response when Kim Kardashian, you know, got involved in what she's been very political lately. And a lot of people feel like it's kind of a slap in the face for, you know, a socialite, a very popular socialite known for beauty and entertainment to be able to actually make an impact. What are your thoughts on her being involved in?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I had a bad view of Kim Kardashian because I didn't know her. I just saw what they said about her on TV. I don't watch reality television shows, so when I first said, well, you know, she just seems like a lightweight kind of a, like you said, a celebutante or whatever they call it, right? But she bad. I mean, Kim Kardashian is no joke.
Right.
You know, I've worked with a lot of celebrities who have gotten involved in issues. I've never seen anybody who's been as determined and as effective as she has on criminal justice issues. There may be other issues, but you talk about criminal justice, that's not an issue that's attracted a lot of support, black or white, if we're gonna be honest. As far as people willing to go and sit down and talk to governors and presidents and senators, black or white. And so for me, if she wants to bring her money and her firepower to help get people out of prison, that's a good thing. And then we have to get over in our community this sense that if you get a praise, it's coming out of my bank account. If you get credit, then my bank account is gonna get smaller. There's enough credit and praise to go around. And when you got 2 million people in prison and 4 million on probation and parole, we need as many people involved as possible. My fear is, you say, okay, well, you know, when Kim gets involved, if we, you know, slap her down, then why is the next celebrity gonna get involved? Why is the next millionaire gonna get involved? So we have to play chess and not checkers and not tic-tac-toe. You know, we play small ball on a big issue. I'm glad, listen, Kim Kardashian and any other celebrity want to get in here and talk to some of these governors and senators and presidents, come on over here because we got too many people locked up.
Absolutely. I have to ask you, as we're in Georgia and there's been so much conversation about the heartbeat bill and how that, again, something that has polarized us in an extreme way. What are your thoughts on that? Because it seems like the conversation is not necessarily just about abortion and abortion rights. It's become something very different.
I tried to listen to my conservative friends when they told me that bans do not work. You ban guns, so people are going to get the guns anyplace. Anyway, I listen to my libertarian friends. My libertarian friends say bans don't work when it comes to drugs. If you ban drugs, people are going to get them anyway. So I'm surprised to now hear the same people saying, but you can ban abortion.
And the people will not get it.
And people are not going to get it anyway. If I believe my conservatives on guns, I believe my libertarians on drugs, I have to believe my liberal friends on abortion to say that women are going to do this anyway if they're desperate and that's the choice they're making. The question is, are they going to do it in dangerous ways? Are they going to do it in ways that are considered unlawful and unsafe or not? The government cannot solve every problem. The government cannot have a policy and a prohibition for everything that we don't like. A lot of things I don't like. I don't like drugs. I've never used drugs. I don't want my kids using drugs. But I don't think the government should be telling people that I'm going to put you in prison for 100 years if you try a drug. Listen, that's between you and God. I think you'll mess your life up. That's between you and God. You know, I think, you know, abortion is an issue that a lot of people have personal discomfort with. But that doesn't mean politically you should then have the government step in because all you're going to do is create back alley abortions and you're going to create a lot of pain and suffering. So I think, you know, we just need to be consistent. If we're going to be anti-ban, let's be anti-ban.
Love that. You've been called a social justice accelerator.
Yes.
Which is something that we definitely need. And I was asking you before we started the conversation about, we see people get so upset, especially when the police killings were happening. People had so much angst and frustration and did not know what to do with it. You know, they go to social media, they get emotional, but they're march, but there really is no outlet, there's no progression. What would your suggestion be to the average person of Republican or Democrat who sees what's happening and is upset and wants to affect change but isn't sure what to do?
Like, it's hard to do stuff by yourself. You know, there's been a movement now to get district attorneys. We always talk about the president. We always talk about, you know, the vice president. It's the local district attorney that's going to determine whether a police officer is charged or not charged, or whether Pookie is going to get probation or 30 years. That's up to the local DAs, and we have vote on that. We can vote on that. colorofchange.org is an organization I helped found back in the Katrina days.
Okay, wow.
10 plus years ago. They are organizing online in a very smart way, and they can actually give you the way to get involved the right way.
Okay.
I also founded something called the Dream Corps, thedreamcorps.org, and we have campaigns to get jobs for people and criminal justice reform. It is hard to do stuff by yourself,
Right.
and we used to be well organized. This was well organized.
Right.
Bayard Rustin was an organizer. Dr. King was an orator. Bayard Rustin, Ella Jo Baker, they were organizers. And now we got people who can organize even better. They got Facebook, they've got Instagram. I want to use television to heal. I want to use television to bring people together. I think too many people have figured out how to use television to divide, to spread poison, to spread division, to spread anger. And we've almost gotten addicted to it.
Right.
If you're not mad at somebody, it's almost like you're not watching TV.
Thank you so much.
That's good.
Thank you for being here with us, Van Jones. This has been Christal Jordan. We'll see you guys soon.